everyone, welcome. So today, as we continue our week on conflict, we are going to be talking about different ways people manage conflict. These are called conflict styles. There are 5 different types of styles. The first is avoidance, accommodation, assertiveness, which is also sometimes called competition, compromise, and collaboration. These are all pretty big words, so we are going to watch 5 videos that kind of give us an idea of what these look like. Okay, here we go. The first is avoidance. Let's see what this looks like.
The first conflict management style is avoidance. In this style, individuals will attempt to make conflict go away by not addressing it or avoiding it.
All right, here's the plan. We pay George W. Bush to come stand outside of Papa Paul's Pizza. He can yell at the people in the cars, and people will want to just buy pizza because George W. Bush is standing right outside. Heck, people will probably come and want to shake his hand, and then they're going to get hungry. And then we've made a sale. Why? Because people are standing outside of Papa Paul's Pizza.
Although Nancy knew that the marketing team's budget would never allow them to get George W. Bush to stand outside of a Papa Paul's pizza joint, she remained silent because she simply wanted to avoid conflict.
Okay, so that's avoidance. The guy had a great idea about inviting a celebrity to help them sell more pizzas, right? He was very excited about it, but it seemed that Nancy, the girl, didn't like the idea. Maybe she thought they couldn't pull it off, or maybe she didn't like the idea of having a past president promote the pizza. But it certainly was obvious that she didn't think it was a good idea. Instead of saying so, though, what did she do? Yeah, she avoided it. You could tell that she was doing this because she didn't speak up and voice her opinion. Instead, she looked away, she tried to be busy doing something else. Basically, she sat quietly and waited for the whole thing to go away. This style is called avoidance because people often don't want to participate. They may not communicate, right? This is also usually thought to be a bad way to handle conflict. Reason why is because you won't end up happy at the end. It doesn't resolve the conflict to benefit yourself, and you don't get anything out of it except for maybe being upset. So it's seen as a lose-lose situation. However, avoidance can be good sometimes. It can give you time to think and calm down because you may not be ready to handle a conflict differently and may not have ideas on what to do. This can be especially helpful if you're anxious or angry. In this case, it can be good to avoid something, to give yourself more time to cool down and come up with ideas. Then you can always come back to the person and talk it out later, right? Okay, our second style is called accommodation. Let's see this example.
The second conflict management style is accommodation. This is the style where individuals attempt to make conflict go away by giving in to the wishes of others.
Now, regarding the Papa Paul's Pizza logo, Mr. Palmer said our target audience is teenagers. So I've been doing some research on Facebook and YouTube and Google Images, and it seems that a lot of these young people are into this whole Twilight thing. So, after a lot of research and effort, I give you the Papa Paul's Pizza logo. It's a vampire head. Pretty great, huh?
Pretty.
Yeah, great.
That's a good idea.
Great.
Yeah. Unfortunately, accommodation can lead to a consensus that can be a bad decision.
Okay, so that's accommodation. Did you see what it looked like? Basically, accommodation is when you give in to the person and completely go with their idea. This is called a lose-win situation because you don't get anything that you want, but the other person gets everything that they want. Usually this style is also thought to be a bad way to handle conflicts because you can become angry, resentful, or envious of the other person when you don't get anything that's important to you. But there are times when this style can be okay. Usually it's only good if you really don't care about the outcome of the conflict, what happens at the end. If you are equally okay with the other person's solution as you are with your own, then it really doesn't matter how the conflict is resolved, right? In this case, you can accommodate the person and they'll probably end up feeling pretty good because it's their idea that you go with. Okay, so now we're on to our third conflict style. This one's called assertiveness or competition. It can be called either way. Let's watch this example.
The third conflict management style is competition. In this style, individuals are usually more concerned with their personal power and winning in a scenario rather than making the best decision.
Mr. Palmer stopped me in the hall before the meeting. He wants our final decision on Papa Paul's Pizza slogan on his desk today. Now, do we have any proposals? Robert, you first.
Shoot, I forgot. Wait, it was,
Devin, what do you have?
Papa Paul's Pizza. Literally a slice of heaven.
Literally a slice of heaven? Like we grabbed a ladder, we used it, we climbed up to heaven, and we took a slice of it. Really, Devin?
No, Ben! It's not like we actually went up to heaven and got a slice of it.
Then why'd you stick the qualifier literally on the front of this otherwise perfectly reasonable statement?
Oh, here it goes again, Ben! Always disagreeing with every idea I have just because you don't like me!
No, Devin, it's because every idea you have is completely idiotic.
Oh yeah, Ben? Yeah? Well, what's your brilliant slogan?
Okay, Devin, how's this? Papa Paul's Pizza. It's Papa Paul's Piquant.
What? That's your idea? I don't even know it.
Okay, wow. That was pretty extreme, right? But you can get the idea. Assertiveness is when ideas compete. Each person in the conflict wants it to go their way, and they aren't willing to have any other solution. This is called a win-lose situation, because you get your way and nobody else does. It can be very aggressive, like in the video, or passive. If it's passive, it may look like someone who refuses to budge or simply will only accept their own solution. This might be someone who's saying something like, nope, can't do that, or it won't work. When competition happens in a conflict, it can go bad because everyone else is unhappy. They may feel frustrated, unheard, or even unimportant because they are not part of the solution. Usually, when this happens, people won't necessarily follow the outcome. They may not want to do it because they don't agree with it. So oftentimes, even if your idea wins, in the long run, it's usually not what happens. But as with all styles of conflict management, there can be good uses for assertiveness. For example, if a decision has to be made quickly, or if you're in charge of someone else's safety, like a teacher, it may be necessary to make a decision yourself that doesn't take into account other people's ideas. In these situations, it's important to be quick, succinct, and try to make the best decision in the interest of everyone, even if it doesn't include their actual ideas. So now we are on to our fourth style. Our fourth style is called compromise. Let's see this example.
The fourth conflict managing style is compromise. This attempt is the search for a solution that somewhat meets the needs of all concerned. The word somewhat is important because often in compromising, the best solution is not achieved, simply the most agreeable.
Well, Ben and Devins both have flaws in their slogans, so they just continue to disagree.
Well, what if we compromised?
How so?
Use a portion of each slogan.
Like, literally peeking?
Papa Paul heaven.
Ooh, I like the second one.
Except it doesn't make any sense.
Why not?
Papa Paul's Pizza, Papa Paul Heaven? It just sounds stupid.
Well, he's got a point, though. We do have to make some sort of compromise.
Okay, well, if Devin's slogan is bad and Ben's slogan is bad, then why don't we just use Robert's?
Yeah. Papa Paul's Pizza, oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
As you see, compromising did not lead to an effective decision.
Okay, so like they said, compromise is when little bits of each idea come together to form a new idea. It may not be the best solution though, because you're trying to accommodate everyone and the ideas may not flow together in the best way. That's why it's called a partial win-win. In fact, because it's often not the best solution and everyone isn't completely happy with the end result, it can sometimes be also called a partial lose-lose. Of course, it is much better than a solution that makes others upset. At least each person has a bit of buy-in for the outcome. And of course, sometimes compromise can come up with a really great solution when the best parts of each idea are put together smoothly. But this isn't always the case. Okay, now we're going to watch an example of our final conflict style. It's called collaboration. Let's see how this looks.
The fifth and final conflict management style is collaboration. In this style, group members have high concern for self and others. They will view a conflict as a problem that needs to be solved rather than a game in which people win or lose.
All right, team. Mr. Palmer just informed me that we have until the end of the day to have the color of the new Papa Paul's Pizza sign on his desk.
How are we gonna go about making this decision?
Well, we should discuss it first.
And then we should rediscuss it.
Yes.
Then we should vote on it democratically.
But there are 4 of us, and there could be a tie. I say we put all the colors in a hat.
But we want the decision to be unanimous, Devin. I say we don't vote on it. We just discuss it and then decide.
True, Ben.
Okay, so that is collaboration. Collaboration is called a win-win because everyone works together to come up with the best solution that they all like and feel proud of. It can take a long time and it can be hard work, but it is often the best solution in the end and it makes everyone happy. Collaboration begins with talking about how you are going to go forward, how you're going to do it. So you're going to talk about what you'll talk about, how you're going to work together, and how you're going to make a decision. That way everyone knows what to expect. Then everyone begins to brainstorm and work together. Each idea is talked about and new ideas come out of the discussion. Finally, in the end, everyone agrees on the end result. It's important to have a lot of communication and discussion as you are collaborating to make sure that everyone is participating and on the same page. So there you have it. Those are the 5 styles: avoidance, accommodation, assertiveness or competition, compromise, and collaboration. But that was an awful lot, wasn't it? Let's end on a happy, funny note and learn one way that we should absolutely not try to resolve a conflict. You ready?
Hey! Oops. My unicorn! You have to fix it.
Fix it? Look, it has been disintegrated. By definition, it cannot be fixed. That's freaking me out. What is she doing?
She's gonna hold her breath until she gets a new one.
Duh. It is just a toy. Now stop it. Okay, I'll fix it. Tim, Mark, Phil. This is very important. You have to get the little girl a new unicorn toy.
Eh? Papoy? Makala na Papoy. No. Papoy. Ah, Papoy.
Hey.
So there you have it. No holding your breath to try to get your way. Really doesn't work and it's quite dangerous. Instead, you got 5 different ways to handle different conflicts. That's it for now. We'll be back later for a brain break. In the meantime, take care and have a great day.